Basically, Spectrum is a turnkey solution provider, and we are doing an engineering consultancy for many of the esteem organization. So we are going through our brief introduction about the Spectrum Pharmatech. So Spectrum is the turnkey solution provider as well as the design consultant. So we are doing design build projects. So our turnkey scopes and services and sectors are like this. Solutions: we provide the market research and project feasibility study, concept design, basic engineering design, detailed engineering design, procurement services, turnkey supply and installation, qualification and validation. Sectors we serve are the pharmaceutical sectors, having in formulation and API, biopharmaceuticals, vaccines, labs and R&Ds, nutraceutical, foods, beverages and cosmetics, and healthcare industries. Here we are doing a detail design and engineering that includes concept design, basic design, and detailed design. As well as we took the procurement, fabrication and supply, installation and commissioning, and qualification and validation. So here are the some of the projects what we have did. So Demoseed Pharma, we did it. That project is oncology OSD and injectable facility. It is at Algeria. Square Pharmaceutical General OSD facility at Kenya. Neopolis Oncology Injectable and OSD oral solid doses facility at Tunisia. Pharmax, that is a oral solid doses facility at UAE. EFAM oral liquid facility at Ethiopia. Medica Pharmaceuticals oral solid and injectable facility at Yemen. Morrison, it's a oral solid and liquid facility at Colombo, Sri Lanka. BDA Life Sciences oral solid liquid cream and ointment facility at Congo. Pharma Synthase oral solid and injectable facility at Russia. Government pharmaceutical organizations, we did it oral solid and liquid Thailand. MSc Mega project, that is generally sorry, I think I got disconnected. Hello. Yeah, this is oncology facility. This is an oncology facility, Greenfield oncology facility. We did the facilities having a production block, admin, canteen, security block, etc. This is at Algeria. Approximate building area is 70,200 square feet. Ongoing facility. Then we did oncology facility at Tunisia. So that area is almost 24,000 square feet. It is mechanically completed. Then we did OSD facility at Dubai. Area is 95,000 square feet. The facility is completed. Medica Pharmaceutical, approximate area is 1,15,000 square feet. This facility is completed at Yemen. So these are the some of the facilities. So now HVAC, what is mean by the HVAC for any you can say a person who does not understand the HVAC? For that, the HVAC refers to the H for heating, V for ventilation, and AC for air conditioning. So why we required HVAC in the pharmaceutical facilities? What is the use of that HVAC and how it impacted on the design? You can say impacted on the facility. That HVACs contribute to protect the product, personal, and environment. So how it will be? You can say protecting the environment, product, and occupant. That is by maintaining the air filtrations by with the help of the differential pressure between the two rooms. Then the by maintaining the air change rate and to controlling the temperature and relative humidity and to give the comfort to the occupant. So practically the common myth is that air pollution occurs only at the outdoor or in the industrial areas, but the truth is that air inside the conditioned space also be polluted by the some of the reasons, and those you can say reasons are that we are using some formaldehyde, we are using certain asbestos, VOC from the solvents, paints, varnishes, biological organism like bacteria, viruses, fungus, certain odors, and dust. Also, all outdoor pollutant like sulfur gases, nitrogen gas, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, high pollen counts, pesticides, chemicals, etc. So all these are the factors which are generally impacting on the indoor air quality of the particular facilities or any of the facility. To avoid that, we generally propose HVAC systems which will maintain the indoor air quality by removing all these polluted material, polluted components, and giving us the desired required facility. So which standards we follow? We follow the World Health Organization (WHO), International Conference on Homogenization, that is ICH, International Standard Organization (ISO), European Medicines Agency (EMA), Pharma Inspection Convention and Pharma Inspection and Cooperation Scheme (PICS), International Society of Pharma Engineering, that is ISP, American Society of Heating, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Engineers, that is ASHRAE, Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors National Association, that is SMACNA, American Society for Testing and Materials, that is STM, Institute of Environmental Sciences and Technology, that is IEST. This we use for the filters, Instrumentation Systems and Automation Society, ISA. So what basically design considerations we are doing, so that because of that we'll get able to design a facility which will fulfill the requirement. So design consideration are that we have to design facility for person which we have to protect from the indoor and outdoor, and we have to maintain the comfort conditions to them. Then is the product protection from external and internal containment, and specific purpose is to product protection is from the external environment as well as the internal cross contamination. When we have a multi-product facility, there may be a possibility that product may get contaminated by the other product. So to ensure that, we have to do the HVAC systems which will help us to protect product also. So how we are from where we are protecting our product, that is outside environment, the other product cross contamination, temperature, humidity, explosion, and fire. So here the temperature and humidity also play an important role, because the product quality and the components we are using or active ingredients we are using into that particular medicines, the life of that, or you can say effectiveness of that, is completely depend on the what kind of temperature and humidity we are maintaining it, because the performance of the product or you can say medicines also depend on that. So it will ensure that the product values will not get deteriorated by maintaining these conditions, and it depends on product to product of the certain product. So generally we see that the people will not have any impact on the pharmaceutical facility as these people are gone. No, but there is a great risk due to the human being. And why this is a risk? Because of that risk, we need to limit the number of the operators, avoid the persons walking past critical areas. Means we have to avoid the maximum, you can say, avoid the movement of the persons, or you can say maximum operations, how we can reduce the operations and movement of the person. That will help us to reduce the particulate shredding in the areas. So then they understand where the operator will be stationed, then separate gowning and degowning routes to be followed. So here, when we have a lower humidity and the temperatures, the less human contamination, and you will get the better, cleaner product. And it depends on the what kind of process we follow and how processes are designed. And according to that process design, we are able to get the product output. So while designing the HVAC systems, which factors we need to consider? There are certain factors which are impacted by there are certain external agencies, and certain few are the internal agencies. What those are the external agencies? That is the roof load. If the roofs are exposed to the atmosphere, it will be a great content of the sensible load, and which will impact on the capacity of the systems. Then the walls, then the windows. Exposed windows are the you can say having a highest risk for the variation in the temperature in particular zones. So that's why we should prefer the windows which will be having a glazings, or we should design the facility in such a way that we can use the take the advantage of shading of the building, and because of that we will able to reduce the load on the building and the solar heat gain. So all these are the external factors which are directly indirectly impact on the heat load estimations, and these are the variable factors because this changes with the change in the daytimes, you can say it is changes along with the sun path movement. So whenever the sun will be there, this contents will have a higher load, and after that this load will get reduced. So according to that, we need to take care of this to avoid the oversizing of the systems. The internal factors which are the impacting the facilities or heat load estimations are the lights, occupants, that is the peoples, appliances, that is the equipments, ventilation rates are the exhaust, or you can say any infiltration, room exhaust, equipment exhaust. Infiltrations are nothing but the air travel from the other systems or from the external environment to the internal environment, and miscellaneous loads like fan, heat, and other parameters. So here we have the shaded portion is for the latent load, and non-shaded portion is for the sensible load. Factor governing the system design capacities and operation expenditures are the air changes rates. Considerations, basically air changes rates we consider to achieve the room environmental classification, because as per the ISO 14644, we need to maintain certain hygiene classification inside the pharmaceutical facilities, and according to that, we need to maintain the airflow rate in particular rooms. So how we achieve that air classification? By maintaining this particular air changes in the areas. So the air changes are defined in the ISP also, it is defined in the ISO also. And why we require this air changes? The air changes are nothing but it is a changes of the air, means replacement of air in particular room, and what is the frequency of that changing the particular room air. So that is we call that the air changes per hour. So whenever we are changing the room from the air and it is got filtered in the system and again send it to room, so the pollutant in the room will get collected from the room and it will be filtered through the HO and again send it back to the areas. So that's why the rate of air change is important. If we consider the higher the rate of air change, that will be the better for the cleanness of the system, but it will cost more on the power consumption. Lower the air changes are the lesser cleanness and may cost for the more recovery time. So recovery time is also important. We have to ensure that we will design a system with the optimized air changes, and this will reduce our load on the power, operational cost, but same time we are able to maintain the room hygiene classifications, and we should able to achieve the recovery rate as mentioned in the ISO 14644. Then again, the next parameter is equipment heat dissipation. By understanding the importance of the equipment heat dissipation, that equipment, the selection of the equipment heat dissipation is important, because if you have selected the wrong heat dissipation, it will cost for the more energy, system will be over designed, and because of that we are consuming more on the operation cost, and ultimately you are increasing the size of the component. To ensure that, we have to take the adequate diversity factor and loading factor for the systems, which will help us to utilize efficient utilization of the system. Next factor is fresher flow rate. The fresher we require to maintain the better indoor quality, and it should be selected as per the ASHRAE guidelines given for the occupant and floor plate area. As well as along with that, we have to take care of the exfiltrations from the rooms to the other system and to the environment, and room exhaust or equipment exhaust. So according to that, we have to select the maximum of this, but while selecting the fresher, we have to optimize the fresher. Room pressurization. Room pressurization is important to maintain the, you can say, to avoid the cross contamination from the room, and product to product and facility to facility, the room pressurization concept are getting changed. So there are multiple concepts of the room pressurizations, and we have to ensure that we should keep as minimum as possible the room pressure, which will reduce the load on the fan static pressure, and according to that, it will ultimately results into reduction in the operational cost. So if you have a higher pressure, it will cost more for the operation cost, and if you have a lower pressure, it will increase the risk of cross contamination. So we have to take care of that, and according to that, we need to select the room pressure. Air filtration. If we consider the more filtration levels and higher filtration ratings, that will impact to increase the room system static pressure, and this will result into the increasing the power consumption of particular system. To maintain the room hygiene classification, we have to optimize the air filtrations, and according to that, we have to select the optimized static pressure, which will increase the efficiency of the systems. Same time, it will not compromise on the room pressurization, and it will give the desired results of facility design and avoid the cross contamination. So what are the factors we need to consider while designing the system, and what are those impact of the factor? So while designing the systems, we have to ensure that our system selected shall be energy efficient. Whatever the systems we selected, it will give the better results in overall all conditions. It should not be system should not be designed that it will be give a better efficiency at peak load, and it will not have a efficient part load. So we have to optimize the system design, and according to that, we have to select the equipments, controls, and instruments, so that we'll get a better control on it. So cleanliness, yes, this is the major aspect in the pharmaceutical design. So we have because the product quality is completely depend on the cleanliness of the facility, and according to that, we need to select the cleanliness. Cost. While designing any of the systems, the major factor involved is the cost. The one is your capital cost, and another is the operational cost. So while designing the system, designer should think about both the cost, so that the system design shall be able to achieve the desired requirement, as well as it will be having a optimized cost for operation point of view. So these are these factor is also most important, and according to that, we have to select the equipment also, which will fulfill the requirement and will have the optimum operational cost. temperature control and humidity control. Temperature control and humidity control also play an important role while selecting a, you can say, while maintaining a quality of the product, and also for the human comfort. So we have to maintain the human comfort. Okay. Then the chemical exhaust efficiencies. We have to have the chemical efficient exhaust, sufficient exhaust to maintain air quality, airflow uniformity to maintain the airflow pattern and to get a better cleanability inside the area. And we have to also ensure that noise level will be less. So that will help us to maintain a good, you can say, sound level, and it will give a comfort to the humans. So why Spectrum? Because Spectrum is having a very good knowledge. Spectrum doing a better coordination. We have a customized solutions, and we are doing a value engineering, which really helps to the client to achieve their, you can say, goals in both operational cost as well as capital cost. In Spectrum, you will get a better teamwork. We have so many number of years of experience, which will help client to, you can say, design a better facility. Yes, and I think I have completed the presentation. Thank you. Any questions?
There is no question. Thank you so much for the session, Mr. Sawant.
Yeah, thank you very much.